Polish with Ray. I'm Rachel, and today I'm going to be sharing with you quite a few new releases from Patriotic Trio. Before we get started, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not already, make sure you subscribe. I upload new live swatching videos and do live streams, lots of good stuff every single week. So like I said, lots of new releases and gorgeous polishes coming to the Patriotic Trio site in June. So the first release we're going to see in June is a 6-piece magnetic multi-chrome collection. Yeah, magnetic multi-chrome. We're also going to take a look at a few collections that release later in June, on June 18th, and I don't actually have those polishes here yet. But they include the Patriotic or 4th of July Trio and the 4-piece Backyard Party collection. If you're not new to my channel, you know pink polish is my favorite, so I can't wait to show you this one. All right, we've got 13 gorgeous polishes to look at today, so let's go ahead and get into the swatches. We're going to start off with the Hot Rods collection, but first I wanted to show you some of the items that helped me create the looks I'm showing. So in my video, you'll see me use this neodymium bar magnet. I got this from Polish Pickup and I like it okay. Honestly, the second magnet that I'm about to show you, I far preferred. This one got a nice thin line, but I felt like it wasn't as strong as what I was looking for. This is the magnet that I used on all of my full hand swatch photos and videos. I got mine from KB Shimmer, but it looks like Patriotic Trio is also selling a magnet that looks identical to this one for only $3 on her site. I love this magnet. It's my favorite one I've used. Highly recommend. And if you're really looking to go the extra mile, I also recommend the DRK Nails Magic Effect Magnetic Top Coat. I recently picked this up and used it on all my swatch photos and videos for this collection, and I am really impressed. I had a hard time finding this, but I actually got it from the Polish Pickup Essential Shop, which, by the way, you can shop when Polish Pickup is not currently going on. Getting into the polishes now, I didn't realize it until I was editing, but the magnetic polishes in this collection actually make a rainbow. So we're gonna swatch them in rainbow order, starting with High Heels. This one's described as being a deep shimmery magenta with magnetic effect that shifts pink to gold to purple. Now, when you're looking in the bottle at this one unmagnetized, it definitely does look magenta, but when you apply the magnet, it really pulls those pink magenta pigments in and reveals a gorgeous red toned base. It's so pretty. All polishes in this Hot Rods collection retail for $11.50, or you can purchase the entire collection for $65. On application, oh my goodness, this one was a dream. I seriously, based off of the color, this one's definitely my favorite. You guys know I love reds, I love magentas, so this one spoke to me. I found that I got full opacity no problem in 2 coats. However, when I magnetized, I was able to see just a little bit of my nail line, so I did go in for 3 coats while I'm swatching here. In my full hand swatch, I did only use 2 coats. So there you can see the beautiful pink magenta line running throughout, and the base is a very pink leaning red. Super pretty. Here's what it looks like sparkling in the sunlight. And then here's what it looks like in lower lighting. You kind of get a cool 3D effect. Pictured are 2 coats of High Heels with a magnetic top coat. Up next, we have Street Rod. This one's described as being a caramel multi-chrome base with magnetic effect that shifts gold to green to pink. So this one is a more orangey leaning caramel. I ended up actually really liking this one. I was surprised. When I saw it in the bottle, I showed it to my sister and said, I don't know about this color. What do you think? And she said, I think once you get that on your nails, Rachel, you're going to love it. And oh my goodness, she knows me because she was right. It's a gorgeous, beautiful color. And you know, a lot of the polishes in this collection really struck me as fall polishes. This one especially. On application, this one was just as smooth and buttery as High Heels, although it was just a bit more sheer. I definitely needed 3 coats for this one, especially when it was magnetized. My brush was a little bit wonky on this polish, by the way, but it really didn't get in the way of application. So here's what it looks like unmagnetized. I really love this color. unmagnetized as well with that kind of reddish glow. It's beautiful. And then applied the magnet, held it for 30 seconds, and this was the result. And here's what it looks like in the sunlight. Look at that magnetic line moving around and shifting from gold to green to pink. So, so cool. And then here's what it looks like in lower lighting. That red really pops in the lower lighting. Pictured are 3 coats of street rod with a magnetic top coat. Up next is gold brick. This one's described as being a multi-chrome that's black to red. Yeah, black to red with magnetic effect that shifts gold to olive. So with all of this beautiful olivey gold magnetic pigment in there, you don't see the black to red. And initially when I looked at this bottle, I was like, wait a second, what? But once you magnetize, the red to black comes out and it is really, really cool. You can kind of see that here, that red glow behind that gold and olive pigment. Really, really interesting. Application-wise, this one reminded me a lot of street rod. It was a little bit sheer on that first coat. You can see a good amount of nail line there. When I built it up to 2, we got decent opacity, and then in 3, it was fully opaque. I actually like this one quite a bit on its own without the magnet as well. It's kind of a glowy, yellow-leaning gold brown polish. And here's what it looks like on the full hand swatch in sunlight. It really reminds me of tortoiseshell design. I could see some really cool nail art with this one. And here's what it looks like in lower lighting, and we get to see some of that beautiful red multi-chrome. You're seeing 2 coats of gold brick with a magnetic top coat. Up next is a Spada. This one's a turquoise to purple to gold multi-chrome that has iridescent chameleon flakes with magnetic effect that shifts aqua to purple to teal. So in the bottle, wasn't expecting to love this one. Ended up really, really liking it because of those beautiful flakes. I'm not sure if I have other magnetic polishes that have flakes. Oh wait, yes I do. I know I have Bee's Knees Lacquer Dark Greetings, and I loved that one too. I think I need to see more magnetic polishes with flakes because it creates a really stunning effect. On application, this one was a bit more sheer than I was expecting. I thought since it was a deeper color, it would be a little bit more opaque, but in the end, totally worth building it up to 3 coats. I felt like the magnetic pigment in this polish especially, and I think the next one I'm showing you, yes, were especially sensitive. Like they pulled right to the magnet as soon as I applied it, and I felt like they stayed put too. So look at applying the magnet. Ooh, so pretty. And the base looks more like a turquoise, dusty teal. And the magnetic line I'm seeing is really shifting from aqua to purple to blue, maybe. It's beautiful. And here's what it looks like in lower lighting. And I'll tell you what, this is what sold me on this polish. Those gorgeous flakes, the iridescent chameleon ones with that beautiful shifty magnetic pigment on top. Oh, I love it. Pictured are 3 coats of Espada with a magnetic top coat. Up next is 4 Decades. This one's described as being a navy base with iridescent chameleon flakes, and its magnetic pigment shifts from green to purple to blue, and we're seeing a whole lot of that green pigment in there right now. This one's kind of like the fraternal twin to Espada. They're the only 2 flaky polishes in this magnetic collection, and again, I just really love the combination of the magnetic pigment with the flakes. I think it creates a ton of dimension and it is beautiful. If I was pressed to pick a favorite out of this whole collection, I would have to say it would be between this one, 4 Decades, and Espada. I just love those flakes so much. Application-wise, this one reminded me a lot of high heels. It was on the opaque side of this collection. If I was not magnetizing, I would wear this in 2 coats, but since I magnetized, I did go in for 3. I applied the magnet, held it for 30 seconds, and this was the result. Gorgeous, gorgeous green line running throughout. A lot of dimension with this one. Here's what it looks like in sunlight. So beautiful, but again, The flakes look best in lower lighting, so here's what that looks like. Ooh, very oceanic. Blue-green lovers, I think this one is for you. Pictured are 3 coats of 4 decades with a magnetic top coat. And the last polish in this collection is Legacy on Wheels. It's described as being a shimmery multi-chrome violet with magnetic effect that shifts aqua to purple to pink. So in the bottle, as I'm looking at it unmagnetized, I see some shimmer that looks more blue leaning, like indigo almost, and then a really strong violet shimmer. It's so, so pretty. When you add that magnet, you get a gorgeous violet line running throughout. People, look at that magnetic line. Oh, love it. All right, on application, this one was my favorite. It reminded me a lot of high heels and 4 decades, and that it was almost a one coater. I think this one maybe though was just slightly the most opaque out of the collection. It was fully opaque for me, 2 coats magnetized. I did go in for a third here though, so you could see what that looked like, just for consistency's sake. I applied the magnet, left it for 30 seconds, and here you go. Really beautiful blue leaning purple base, almost an indigo, with a bright purple magnetic line running throughout. And here's what that one looks like in the lower lighting. And this collection is actually already available, so I will link all of the polishes and the Coloristic Carol site in the description box. Pictured are 2 coats of Legacy on Wheels with a magnetic top coat. All right, so now let's jump into some new releases. All of the polishes I show you from here on out are going to be released on June 18th. We're going to start with the Backyard Party collection. This is a 4-piece, 1 batch limited edition collection. So if you like these, make sure you set your alarms for June 18th. This first polish we're looking at is called Swim and Dive. It's described as being a corally pink crelly with silver holographic micro shreds. So the shreds, as you can see, are kind of in that gorgeous crescent moon shape. It's super delicate and beautiful. On application, are you ready for this? Perfection. Absolute perfection. I about cried. Yeah, cried when I put these on because, guys, it was smooth, buttery, self-leveling, easy to work with. It's got some neon pigment, so it's freaking out my camera. I'm sorry. But it's kind of got a jelly base, super squishy, and oh my goodness. I want this in every color. Every color. Carolina, if you're watching this, every color. And here's what this one looks like on the full hand swatch. Not usually a big fan of corals, but am definitely a fan of this one. Super flattering, very summery and fun. By the way, all of the pinks in this collection do glow in black light. So in case you're going to a rave sometime soon and you want a like neon-y orange polish, it works for that too. So pictured are 3 coats of Swim and Dive with a glossy top coat. Next in the Backyard Party collection, we have Sun and Fun. This one's described as being a watermelon pink crelly with silver holographic micro shreds. So it's essentially the same polish as Swim and Dive, but Swim and Dive was a coral. This one has more red undertones, so I agree with the description that it's a watermelon pink. The 3 pinks in this collection are kind of close in color, although, I mean, really, they're quite different if you love pinks like I do. So at the end of this portion of the video, I will show you a comparison of the 3 side by side so you can see the differences. On application, this one was very similar to Swim and Dive. Its crelly base made it effortless to apply, and you get a ton of silver holographic micro shreds with every coat. I could have stuck with 2 on this one, I think, but I did go in for a third because that nail line was slightly visible in 2 coats. Oh, and as you can see, it's got a brilliantly beautiful watermelon color. So bright, so neon, very summer. Very summer. If I had to pick a favorite of the 3, today I'm going to say this one, but ask me that tomorrow, it might be a different one. I love, honestly, all 3 of these. Pictured are 3 coats of Sun and Fun with a glossy top coat. And the last pink in the collection is Friends and Family, which is described as being a magenta purple curly with silver holographic micro shreds. So same great formula, same beautiful shreds as the last two. This one's base, I would say, is the brightest of the three and the most obviously neon. It is bright. And I feel like my camera is catching it for the most part, but it's washing it out just slightly, even brighter in person. If you haven't worked with a polish that has these shreds, by the way, they are kind of like flakes in that they do not dry down textured at all. They lay down perfectly flat. So here you can see on the first coat, again, perfection. I just so love this formulation, and I really hope to see more polishes like this coming from Coloristic Hero in the future. I am a big fan. Again, it was pretty much opaque in 2 coats, but I could see the nail line just a little bit, so I did go in for a 3rd coat. And here's what that looks like on the full hand swatch. Those holographic flecks just reflect in the sun and create this beautiful rainbow effect. And here's what that one looks like glowing in the black light. You can see it's got kind of more of a reddish neon to it. Pictured are 3 coats of Friends and Family with a glossy top coat. So as promised, here's what they all look like side by side. On the left, we have Swim and Dive. That's the more corally one. In the center is Sun and Fun. That's the watermelon one. And then on the right is the purple magenta, Friends and Family. They're all beautiful and wonderful to work with. So it's like pick your favorite color. You can't go wrong. The 4th polish in this collection is a little bit different from the others. It's called Sprinkler and Splash, and it's a topper. It's a clear base with a mix of black and pearly white glitters in various shapes and sizes. So taking a closer look at the glitters in here, you can see the white ones look from far away like they are white matte toppers, but as you move them around, you can see they are slightly reflective. They do have a more pearly finish, and at some angles, it kind of gives a silvery effect. It's very interesting. And I always like to swatch toppers over a variety of different colors. Actually, all of these that you're looking at now are from Coloristic Hero. The 2 on the left are from the Spring Bucket List collection. If you haven't seen my review for that, I will link it in the cards, and I will link those polishes in the description box. And the one on the far right is the Neon Magenta from the Backyard Party collection, Friends and Family. So as you can see, great glitter to base ratio here. I'm getting a ton of those glitters out, and I'm kind of just patting them down my nail so that they are distributed nice and evenly. I didn't have to do any swirling or fishing to get the glitters out, but I did want to just make sure they were distributed evenly on the nail. By the way, I don't know what kind of glitters these are, but they didn't create any texture. I was fully expecting to have to use a glitter smoothing top coat with this topper. It was not necessary. I just used a regular top coat and it smoothed out perfectly glassy, and it was very smooth. So here's what they look like up close. You can see it here over the gray. Here's what it looks like over the blue. That's a pretty combo. And then here's what it looks like over Friends and Family. And here's what it looks like in the sun over a beautiful strawberry cream, which I will also link in the description box. I'll also add that this polish was not tough to remove at all. It came off just like a flaky. Pictured is 1 coat of Sprinkler and Splash with a glossy top coat. Bonus polish! I think I said at my intro that I had 13 to share with you, but this is actually a bonus 14th, and it's a brand new edition that's going to be joining the permanent line of linear holographics Carolina has in the Coloristic Hero shop. Now, if you haven't tried those linear holographics, you need to. They are some of the best linears I've tried. I've said it. They're all these deep, vampy, wintry fall colors. They're absolutely gorgeous. Well, this one's no different. It's called Wild Avocado, and it's an olive green linear holographic. Formula, a dream. A total dream. Got great opacity and coverage in that first coat. It's a little bit streaky, so I did go in for a second and reached full, beautiful, holographic opacity. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at it, and wait till I take it in the sunlight. You thought it couldn't get more beautiful? You were wrong. And guys, I don't even like greens. If you've watched my channel for a while, you know greens are not my thing, but a beautiful polish is a beautiful polish, and this is a beautiful polish. Also want to add that although I didn't experience any staining with this, I would highly, highly, highly recommend wearing a base coat with it. So pictured are 2 coats of wild avocado with a glossy top coat. And the last collection I have to share with you is a Patriotic Trio. Again, these release on June 18th. They're $11.50 each, or you can purchase the entire trio for $30. This first polish is Patriotic Summer, and it's described as being a deep navy blue jelly with silver holographic micro shreds and iridescent chameleon flakes. So this one really does remind me of a night sky. It's a little bit deeper in person than what you're seeing in my video here. It is very true to color as I'm applying it, especially when I take it outdoors, but my camera for some reason wanted to brighten it up. So it has the same, what looks like anyway, the same beautiful silver holographic micro shreds that we saw in the Backyard Party collection, plus it has some iridescent chameleon flakes. Application for this was very similar to the Backyard Party collection, so if you're a blue fan, highly, highly, highly recommend. I was able to get this one to full opacity in just 2 coats. Here's what it looks like in the sunlight, and my oh my, I can see some gorgeous firework stamping over this. Pictured are 2 coats of Patriotic Summer with a glossy top coat. Moving on to the topper in this trio, this is Firecrackers 2.0. It's got a clear base with royal blue and red metallic flakes and iridescent chameleon flakes. Looking at this bottle right now, I am mesmerized. Those beautiful metallic flakes and the iridescent flakes just reflect the light so beautifully. I'm not much of a topper person, but yeah. I'll leave it at that. This one's gorgeous. Once again, I swatched this over a few different base colors, so hopefully you can get an idea of how you might want to use it. I'll leave those bases in the description box, but on the far left, we've got a kind of milky white. In the center, just a regular black cream. And then on the far left, we have Patriotic Summer. Application for this one was very smooth and it was easy to work with. There are quite a lot of those holographic silver micro shreds and a little bit fewer of the red and blue metallic flakes. So I did want to do just a little bit of placement to make sure there were plenty of those gorgeous blue and red flakes on there. Whew, this one was a beauty over black. You could really appreciate the hollow with that and get the contrast with the red and blue. And I'll show you up close what each of these look like as well. So here's what it looks like over the white. Here's what it looks like over the black, which I think is my favorite way to wear it. And then here's what it looks like over Patriotic Summer. So much going on. Here's what it looks like over a light blue cream in the sunlight, and you can see those iridescent flakes and those holographic flakes and the red and blue metallic flakes all working together so beautifully. Pictured is 1 coat of Firecrackers 2.0 with a glossy top coat. And my favorite polish in the trio, and maybe my favorite out of this whole video, I don't know, those pinks were pretty amazing. This is Miss Liberty. It's described as being a red jelly with silver holographic micro shreds and iridescent chameleon flakes. So it's very similar to the blue in this collection, Patriotic Summer, but instead of having a navy blue jelly base, it's got a bright, beautiful cherry red color. So don't get me wrong, the base of this is bright, but it is a lot brighter on my monitor than what I'm seeing in person. My full hand swatch photos and videos are much more color accurate than what you're seeing right now, so refer to those for the color, but for now, we can check out the formula. As you can see, it applied a lot like Patriotic Summer. It had a very squishy, crelly base and was fully opaque for me in just 2 coats. By the way, none of the polishes in this Patriotic Trio left any texture on the nails. If it did, it was very minimal and smoothed out well with a regular glossy top coat. They also weren't difficult to remove. So here's what it looks like in the sunlight. As you can see, it is a bright, beautiful cherry red, and those flecks just sparkle in the sun. Here's what it looks like in lower lighting. I thought this was just lovely too. And I love polishes that don't just look great in the sunlight. They look great in everyday lighting, and that's what you're seeing here. So I pictured our 2 coats of Miss Liberty with a glossy top coat, and I added some extra swatch photos because I love this polish. Oh, they were all so pretty, but I'm really excited for that backyard party collection. Let me know in the comments which collection you're most excited for and if you'll be picking any of these polishes up. In the description box, I will link the Colorista Carol site, their Instagram, and their Facebook group so you can see more swatches of everything I shared with you today. And while you're here, be sure to check out some of my recent videos. Last week, I live swatched and reviewed 2 new releases from Different Dimension, their Good Vibes and their Summer Dreaming collections. I also did a live stream last week where I shared Stella Chroma's new Summer 2021 collection, and I live swatched and reviewed the new Wildflower Lacquer Raw Crystal collection. I'll leave all of those videos linked in the description box so you can check them out in case you missed them. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!